Okay, so right off the bat, this game is obviously trying to do some things like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. It definitely has a vibe of both of them, but it doesn't do anything from those games better. I mean, it's even got like the big flying dragon thing, like in Zelda, but we'll get to that. So, general traversal. So you can run around normally, but why would you do this? If you press R2, you'll boost, right? When I first played it, I was like, it doesn't seem like he's really going all that fast. But then I realized...
Huge wall. And an equally huge hole through it. Yikes.
I know. We were here during a story cutscene where you saw a flashback as to what caused that hole, you idiot. Anyway. I was like, yeah, you can't really run all that fast. It's kind of weird. But, if you look in the top left corner, you see I've got 17 rings out of 479. If I have max rings, then you get faster boost, right? The weird thing is, you can upgrade your speed and you can upgrade your ring capacity. So... every time you get hit, you lose a bunch of rings, but not all of them. So I guess increasing your ring capacity means you can take more hits later on. But it also means it takes longer to get all your rings, so you can get max speed boost. It's kind of weird. But it's kind of irrelevant, right? Because they teach you this move early on, where you can hold triangle and you can create this trail, right? And if you create a loop with the trail, it doesn't attack in the middle. If there was an enemy... like, if I go around an enemy and do this and create a loop around an enemy, it'll do damage to the enemy. Oh, look, I got some experience as well. But you can just keep doing this and get rings. And sometimes experience, and sometimes other shit. There's so much shit in this game, right? So, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to do this and get max rings. And you don't even have to stop to collect them, look. You can just go... I'm just going to do a loop and then keep running. And they're collected. You can just literally do this. Until you have max rings. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. I've almost got max rings now. That only took about 30 seconds. Alright, and then when you get max rings, da-da-da-da, crappy looking cutscene. It looks like a shit version of the end of the first Sonic film. Now I have max rings, right? So now, I can go much faster. As you'll see. And this is way better. It's still not... it still doesn't give you the sense of speed that, like, Sonic Generations gave you. Oh, bollocks. Well, now I'm down here. But, you get to go faster, right? So, you can run. Okay? You can also jump, of course. You got the stomp, all that usual stuff. You got the slide. But they also gave him the drop dash from Sonic Mania. So you jump, right? And then you do a double jump, because they give him a double jump now. So you press X to jump. Press X again to double jump. And then after that, press X a third time and hold it to do the drop dash. And then you're away. But get off the rail. Get up. Fuck's sake. But it seems kind of pointless doing the drop dash when simply pressing R2 does this. Like, why would you do the drop dash? I don't know, seems weird. Seems like they put it in just because it's a thing Sonic can do now. So much of the game is like boost pads and rails and shit. And at first they're fun. You're like, oh, cool, whee! Yeah, that was cool. Look at this, whee! Okay, I'm just gonna go through here. Yeah. Look at this, whee! Rails, yeah! But then you realize that is like 90% of the game. Like, that's most of what there is to do out here. Because... when you look at the map, you have to... all of this was covered up by white blocks like this, right? All of the map. And then you find these little missions dotted around the map. And every time you complete a little mission, it unveils some of the map. So, once you've revealed the map, you see all these things all over it. These, like, I obviously haven't collected these ones, but they were dotted around like this, all over the fucking map. If you look to the left, sort of around the middle, it says I got 302 of those things. And that's just on this island, right? This is the second island... I've done that one. This is the second island of 5. 5, my friend. And I've got 302 of these fucking things, and there's at least 100 left. And it's not like they take long to get individually, but there's so many of them. So let's just give you an example of what it's like to get one. So let's just... I put a marker down there. So this is a cool feature. I put a mark on there, and then in the world, I can look, and I can see exactly where the mark is, so you know where to go. That's a nice feature. So I'll go over here, right? So now I'm like, alright, where's that thing I need to collect? It's not on the ground. It's up there, look. So I have to get up there on that spinning around contraption. So I presume, just based on logic, that hitting that spring will take me up to that spring up there, which will take me up to there, and I'll get the collectible. So let's just go. Right, there we go. I got one. And it's shit like that. Like, I'm just going to go up here, bish, bash, bosh, go up here, bish, bash, run up the wall. And there's another one, right? Hang on, we ain't ready for that shit. So it's basically that, hundreds of times per island. Hundreds of times. So there's regular enemies on this map. None of the enemies are made by Robotnik, by the way. Robotnik is trapped in cyberspace. All these enemies are from whatever wiped out Chaos's race, I think. And they're tied to cyberspace. So there's regular levels on each... regular enemies on each level. Generally, they're like a similar kind of enemy that you see on... Like, I've seen similar enemies on the first island and on the second island. But there's some unique enemies as well. And then there's also, like, sort of boss creatures, like this one I'm about to fight. Not creatures, boss robots. In Breath of the Wild, there's a mechanic called the Blood Moon, where every now and then, the moon would be blood red, and it would show this cutscene where all the monsters you killed would respawn and all of that shit, and it would basically, like, reset a lot of stuff. This game has that. Instead of a blood moon, they call it starfall, and there's loads of random shit falling out of the sky, and you pick it up, and once that event is over, which it doesn't explain, by the way, once that event is over, these big boss monsters have respawned. And I think the little monsters, robots, have respawned as well. But anyway, some of these boss fights are kind of cool. I'll show you this one. This one isn't that great, but there's a much better one not far from here. I saw it. Tank. Right, so this thing's gonna fucking kick up a sandstorm in 30 frames per second, I might add. All the cutscenes are 30. Right, so now I'm floating in the air, so I need to avoid the rocket boosters coming off the tank, and then boost towards it like that. And then it's gonna start spinning, it's gonna suck me in, so I have to time my button presses poorly to do homing attacks like this. And I need to hit it. I'm doing fuck all damage, but once it's down on the ground, right, I've got a combo meter going because they've added a like, here's the skills. You got that Psy-loop thing I showed you earlier. You got Sonic Boom, which is so fucking weak, it's pointless. Phantom Rush, all this shit. All this shit sounds cool, right up until the point that you get this, this skill, which battle skills that have been unlocked will be automatically activated during combos. Like this one, high-speed zigzag attack, press L1 or R1 and square. With this, all I have to do is just keep pressing square, and it will just, like, cycle through the various attacks. The combat is basically brain dead now. It's just press square until win. And once your combo meter gets high enough, you get to do the Phantom Rush, which, admittedly, is cool as fuck. And I'll get to do one on this robot. Check this out. I'm just gonna keep pressing square now that it's hurt. Get some Dragon Ball Z shit on the case. Boom, 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 let's go! I'm just spamming square. That's all I'm doing. And now it's not quite dead, so now I got to do the second phase. You know how it goes. I mean, what's happening on screen is visually interesting, and that's cool. I always love that. But the actual combat itself is kind of boring. I'll show you one of the more fun boss things. Oh yeah, it dropped a cog. I forget what those are for. I think they open up the small little levels. Let me show you one of the more interesting boss things. So long, suckers. Yeah, most of the robots I just run past because it is pointless taking them down. Because I mean, look, I'm about halfway through Island 2 of 5, and I've got all the skills. It's like kind of unbalanced. And I'll show. Bear in mind, there's so much to talk about. I'm doing this the slow way and the more fun way. There is a more boring, faster way of getting experience and shit because the fishing in this game is just broken. They didn't test it. All right. So anyway, let me show you this fucking thing. Strider. This one actually has a little bit of interesting mechanics. So he puts these rings out, these rails. So you've got to grind the rail, and once you fill the rail, you'll fly up to the next rail, like that, and again, and then you get onto this bit. Now the idea is I have to fill all 3 of these rails with blue lines, and he's going to put some electricity on the rail, and I have to dodge it by leaping to another rail like that, and I can boost. And the idea is I just have to fill all 3 of these rails with blue boost. Is that on the outer rail? It is. You stupid robot. I'm not there anymore. And then the inner one. Come on, son. Come on. Right. And now, I get to beat the fuck out of it. And I should be able to kill it in one go this time, because I think this robot can be destroyed in one burst at my current strength. Let's go! Boom ting! And then another one of those things. Right. That's basically as fun as the combat gets so far. I've had one, like, true end-of-level boss fight. There's one giant titan per island. That flying thing that's flying around, that big dragon thing, that's the titan of this realm. Oh yeah, look at the pop-in. Look at that island up there. platform. I was not gonna... Now it's loaded in, it's not gonna pop out. The pop-in on these things is fucking terrible. There's that fucking Titan. Yeah, let's see if we can get some more pop-in of the rails and stuff like that. Like, those... these boost pads just came out of nowhere. I mean, did you see that? Did you see that? All three of those platforms just weren't there, and then they were. It is insane! I haven't seen pop-up like this since fucking N64. Look, there's no platforms over there. And now they're there. And the whole game is like that. It really is. It's mind-bogglingly unfinished. Oh, I've got another one of those things. Right, this is one of the challenges, okay? If I complete this challenge, it'll free up an area of the map. So I'm presuming it'll just clear up all of this over here. Except they're usually so brain dead. This one looks like it's going to be hit the egg timer and then I have to get from point A to point B within a certain amount of time. Some of them are really brain dead. Like you fucking... you turn up at one of these markers, question markers, and then there'll be like 3 buttons on the floor and you just have to go stomp, stomp, stomp. Puzzle complete! And then it like opens up some of the map. They're so fucking brain dead. The whole game is so brain dead. Right, where am I going? Where do I have to go before time runs out? Over there, I guess. What a... Okay, strange way of showing it. Alright, well, it doesn't look like it's going to be challenging, so... Go! Oh, God. Oh, I can't... Oh, maybe it will be, because I can't go up there, can I? I have to do all this shit that wasn't here. It wasn't... None of that was there when the camera was showing me where I had to go. None of that was there because of the pop-in. And then it'll free up some of the map, and it gives me that, which is another thing that increases my strength. Bosh! So, there you go. It's done that. Oh, look, and it's freed up. There's another one just to the left of me. This thing here, there's these blue seed things and red heart things, and you can exchange them for... There's stats in the bottom corner. I think the red heart things increase... You can exchange those to increase your defense. And the blue seed things, I think, you can increase your attack. So as you can see, my attack's at 39 out of 99 and 41 out of 99. It's going to take forever. These fucking things, right? These are called Cocos, and they're dotted all over the islands. You can hear them. They make a very distinct noise. And of course, they're not doing it now. So if you're out and about, usually near some ruins like that, you can hear them and you can jump up and collect them. And if you have enough, it doesn't tell you how many you need, but if you have enough, you can go to... Where is he? You can go to the Elder. Is it the Elder? Yeah, you can go to the Elder. Right? And he'll say, oh, hello, you found some of my dudes. Please find as many Cocos and bring them to me. Oh, I don't have enough. Alright, well, normally, when you have enough, again, it doesn't tell you how many you need, you can come back here and exchange them for 1 level of speed increase or 1 level of ring amount increase, and they both go up to 99, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm like halfway through the second island, and I'm nowhere near close to finishing any of them. So you have to collect those fucking things, and you got to collect the blue seed things and the heart things and those metal things, so I can go speak to Knuckles, and the keys which unlock the containers that house the Chaos Emeralds. And every level has 7 Chaos Emeralds, and you collect them all and turn into Supersonic, and then when you go to the next level, they get taken from you, and you have to get them again. Oh my god, man! And I haven't even gotten to the fishing yet. So there's a lot going on. But none of it's really interesting. Most of it is just collecting these fucking things and keeping an eye out for those little cocoa seed people. Most of the game is just finding rails and going, there's probably a thing I need to collect at the end of this, and then you do it, and then you collect a thing at the end of it. So yeah, that's general gist gameplay. Oh yeah, there's also these that you can spin around, and they give you more of the collectibles that you need to, like, speak to whichever character is the character you need to speak to on the island. So the first island, it was Amy. This robot, this one just jumps up. He's like, oh no! And then you go, okay, well, I'm gonna do this then. Bosh! Yeah, I think it's already dead, bro. And it drops some experience and stuff. So fighting these robots is kind of fun the first time, but then you realize I just don't need to do it anymore. Look at the pop-in of that shit, man. This was another puzzle I had to, challenge I had to complete in order to open up some of the map. So you show up, and there's these 3 things, and there's those 3 things, and you look at it, and by this point, the game has drilled into you that you should do this a lot, right? Because a lot of things are solved by doing that. So you look at this and you go, all right, okay, 1, 2, 3 lights. All right, so it's pretty obvious what I have to do. I have to spin around here. So you do that, and that one lights up, and then you do this one, then you do that one. Oh, puzzle complete. So difficult. It's so brain dead. Oh, no, I don't. No, I want to go down, fool. Literally the opposite. Down. Oh, my God. All right. Down. Avoid. Thank you. Cool falling animation, bro. So, this way. I didn't... Why did he turn around? Sometimes it does that. Sometimes the controls just go, nope. I pushed right on the stick to jump to the other rail, and he just started going backwards. That's what I wanted to do. And he's going back. Okay. I got to the end, hit boost, and he just did a 180. What the fuck's happening? Right, so at one place on every level, there's... this is the kind of thing you have to find in order to access the cyberspace levels, which are basically short versions of stages that are similar in gameplay to Sonic Forces stages, except they're like crappier, shorter versions of that. And Sonic Forces stages were already crappier versions of Sonic Generation stages, so yeah, we're getting some serious dilution. So anyway, you come here, and you jump in. Right, so now Big the Cat, surprise. I was not expecting to see Big the Cat in this game. Yeah, shut up, Big, shut up. Right, so it says go fish. I need to spend 2 purple tokens. Now, I don't want to say the game throws these purple tokens at you, but I have 528. And I did a lot of fishing yesterday. You trade the 2 tokens, right? And it's not 2 tokens per cast, it's 2 tokens per session of fishing. So I've spent 2 tokens, right? It literally does not matter where I cast the line, right? This is so brain dead. I'm going to cast the line over here, right? And then you wait for a fish to bite it, and then you press X. And then you press X again, right? So you wait. Right, press X. And then you press X when it's in the red circle. And then he activates Ultra Instinct, and then you caught something. And I got 2 tokens. Oh, they were fishing tokens, not... Wait, hang on. They were the tokens I can spend in the fish shop, not the tokens I have to spend in order to fish in the first place. This game isn't confusing at all. Right, so it doesn't matter where you cast the line, but they bite faster if you cast it, you know, at the fish. So cast it at the fish, and you wait. Then you press X. Oh, it's a good one. And then you press X again. Oh, I got a treasure chest. It's going to contain 1 ticket. They always do. It didn't contain a ticket. That's the first time. A red seed of power. I've been calling those hearts. So anyway, that's how you fish, right? And you can do that as much as you want, right? So those fish tokens in the top left where it says 78, that's what I used to spend in the fish shop, right? So you go to trade tokens, okay? Now these are sold out, right? You can buy those cocoa. So instead of having to find them, and you normally only ever find them in like groups of 2 or maybe groups of 3, and they're like few and far between, you can just come here and spam tokens here and buy them 20 a piece. So I did that. They eventually did get sold out. You can also buy these things which help you level up instead of finding them at random out in the wild, and you can also buy skill. So the fishing is fucking brain dead, and you get like a lot of the time when you catch a fish, it would be like, here's 12 tokens. So you're like, all right, I'll just do it like 7 more times, and I got loads of fucking tokens. So you can just spam the fishing and just buy all the skill and the shit you need. It's so bizarre that they did that. Anyway, return to the island. So doing the fishing is the fastest yet most boring way to level Sonic up. It also doesn't really seem that necessary because I've only been doing fishing like the last sort of couple of days. I haven't really been using fishing to get Sonic's ability points up. No, that's the wrong button. Sonic's skill points up. I've been getting skill points from killing enemies and generally playing the game, and I like maxed him out 2 levels into the game. The economy doesn't seem particularly well thought out. Now, let me show you a cyberspace level, shall I? Right, so, where are we? These things here, these portals, these are how you get into like the levels, as it were. So you need, I think that's what those cogs are for. You pick up cogs and they unlock these things. And then there's like, 4 missions in each level. Reach the goal, get an S rank time, get 100 rings, and find all the red star rings. And they are so easy. It's actually insultingly easy to get them all. This is one of the longer ones that I've done. Like, I'm boosting right now. There's not much in the way of a sense of speed compared to, say, Sonic Generations. It's so weird. And the controls don't feel as crisp and as responsive. So like a lot of the time, like if I can't even turn the camera right now. If I'm bouncing on this thing, right? In the old Sonic games, when you're bouncing on these, you can just bounce on it and then move forward. But on this one, you can bounce on it. It won't let you move forward. You have to jump off it, even though you're in midair. Like, stuff like that's really weird. It's just... It's so bizarre. They're just basically, like, crappy versions of the awesome levels from Sonic Generations. And they're not, like, really even fleshed out. Again, it's mostly just rails. So, yeah, doobie-doo. They got some decent music on these levels, I will admit, but... It would be nice if they just did a full game that was more levels like this. They did that with Sonic Forces, except they fucked it up with Sonic Forces because a third of the game was classic Sonic, quote-unquote, and a third of the game was playing as your stupid avatar bullshit. So only a third of the game was levels like this, and again, they were just inferior compared to the Generations versions. Whoops, missed it. Well, time to go back down here. I mean, just holding R2, boosting on this rail, it's not really that fun, to be honest, I have to admit. It's not really that fun. It was more fun 12 years ago in Sonic Generations when they did it better. And like I say, this is the longest cyberspace level I've encountered so far. Normally they are under a minute. Comfortably under a minute as well. And yeah, I tried to move the camera around so many times then, and it just... Sometimes the camera is just straight up locked, it won't let you move it. Which sucks. Thrilling. This is a thrilling level, this is. Just holding R2. It's so brain dead. And then you get a bit of platforming here. Hup, hup, hup. Even that, even doing that homing attack is so slow and clunky compared to the old games, because in the old games you could go like boom, 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 boom. But now, it's almost, I've just realized they took something from Sonic 4. In Sonic 4, you could jump into a homing attack, but when you hit an enemy, he wouldn't like hit an enemy and bounce off it and keep going. He'd hit an enemy, come to a dead stop in midair, do a backflip, uncurl out of a ball, and then you would have to like do a homing attack on another enemy. And I've just realized that's what it's like in this game. Whereas in the older games, like Sonic Generations, it had a similar thing. You could do a homing attack and bounce from enemy to enemy, but it felt so much more fluid. And this game just feels like it just feels stiff. And again, I'm boosting right now. There's almost no sense of speed in this game compared to the other ones. And that's that. That's one of the longer ones of those stages I've seen. There was one that was based on Chemical Plant Zone and a couple of others. So far each island has like 6 or 7 of those little zones. And that's like the bit of fun. And then you leave cyberspace. And now you're like, oh well, I guess it's back to riding rails and collecting medals so I can go speak to Knuckles. Speaking of which, let's go speak to Knuckles. He's over there. And the fast travel as well, right? You can only fast travel to the Elder, this guy, and whatever the fuck this guy's called. I can't remember. What's he called? The Hermit. Yeah, there's the Elder and the Hermit. Because you can't just go to one guy to level Sonic up. This guy levels up your ring capacity and your speed, and this guy levels up your attack and defense, because it would be too convenient to have one guy. Anyway, you can only fast travel to these guys. I mean, they're dotted around the map. See, look, there's another one, so there's like more than one of each of those two dudes. There's another one up here, but you can only fast travel to them, not to like that, or where Knuckles is, or anything like that. And on top of that, you can't even... I'm pressing X, you can't fast travel. You have to press R1 to go from all icons to fast travel icons, and then you can fast travel. But it is very fast, I'll give them that, look. And I'm there. I'll give them that, that is fast. Knuckles then. This is a thing that had a Chaos Emerald in it. The Chaos Emerald was floating in there, and I turned up and I had enough keys. I can't remember how you get keys. There's so much shit to collect in this game. I forget how you get all of it. But yeah, the keys, you get the keys, and then you can walk up to those things and just open the case and get the emerald out of it, because why would you need fanfare when it comes to emeralds? Oh look, enemies. No thanks. It's like when I became Supersonic, fighting the first boss, there was no fanfare. Like in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, they made a really big deal about Sonic becoming Supersonic and taking down the final boss. And in this game, you go to fight the boss of the island, and Sonic just like descends from the sky as Supersonic, and then the fight starts. It's like there's no fanfare whatsoever. There's like no such thing as a straight line to get where you want to go to in this game. I mean, this shit's all cool like the first time you do it, but You do it so many times. Right, okay. I came here before and the game was like, you can't do this yet. You're not allowed. It's not the right time. I guess now it's the right time. I have no idea what these balls... Obviously, the balls have to go in here. Obviously. If this was Breath of the Wild, I'd use the Sheikah Slate with the magnesis to lift them up and put them in there. So I don't know how Sonic's going to do it, because they don't seem to move. Knuckles will tell me. Yeah, so there's... On the first island, there was Amy. On this island, there's Knuckles. And those stupid metal things that I've now got 314 of, you need to collect those in order to speak to the next version of Knuckles. Knuckles is trapped in cyberspace. That's why he looks all glitchy. So I have enough of these, so I'm just going to... And this happens every single time. You can skip it, but it happens every single time. It's so bizarre. Look how long it's taken.
Sonic, check these out. I don't think this ancient machinery was active before. Any idea what changed?
Something similar happened on the last island. Let's just call it a little divine intervention. If I can solve the lock's code...
No, Sonic, let's not call it that.
...to that flying titan.
Wait, Sonic. You're still missing a Chaos Emerald, aren't you? Oh, that thing will tear you to shreds.
The last titan was holding the final emerald. I'm willing to bet it's the same deal here. First, though, I need to play this crane game. Let me see. The stones and the ports seem to have corresponding colors.
Oh, no shit. Oh my god, why did I think this puzzle was going to be anything other than absolutely brain dead? Alright. There are sphere stones lying on the ground. Nearby are indentations of various hues. Can you solve the riddle? The crane overhead looks like it can move those sphere stones. That was a completely pointless box of text. Alright. Also, that's a crane? Oh, I see it now. How do I control it? Ah, up here. Okay. Sure. Well, this is new. What is it? Grab with arm. Alright, place the ball. Cool, this is fun.
One eternity later.
Oh my god, this is so fucking boring, bro. It's so boring. Why did it drop it again? Maybe it wasn't, maybe it didn't have a good enough grip, like your mum. Yay, excitement complete. I'm looking forward to seeing what this boss is naming, because the first boss was a big giant walking robot, and they just called it Giganto. That's literally what they called it. Hey, we need a name for this boss. What should we call it? I don't fucking know. Giganto? Sold. Giganto. What the fuck? This thing's probably called Flyo.
Huh. You did it. Nice work.
Was there ever any doubt? Ready to go face impossible odds?
Huh. We've faced worse. Here we go. Try to keep up.
Whoa, hey, that's my line.
Camaraderie. Look, now I'm back here. Okay, you'd think it would put me over here where he was in the cutscene, but okay. That seems like something a game that's finished would let you do. It really is just more of the same, just with walls around me this time instead of out in the open. Now what? This way? I wonder if there's going to be any fanfare when he turns into Supersonic this time. Do you reckon? Do you reckon they're going to make a big deal about it, or do you reckon it's going to be just glossed over like it's nothing? Don't you wish you were playing Breath of the Wild? I'm sure you do. Oh, Wyvern. Okay, that's actually a more... It's not a fantastically original name, but it's more original than fucking Giganto. Rawr, look at me, I can fly, rawr. Catch Wyvern. Sonic is not yet ready to defeat Wyvern. To turn into Supersonic to take down Wyvern, get to higher ground and reach it using the homing attack. Alright. Yay, rails! Just what I wanted to see. So much of this game is just automatic brain dead. And I know that's like usually a common complaint with 3D Sonic games, where like a lot of it's autopilot, but in this game it really is. Yeah. How dare you? Don't laugh at me. Where am I supposed to go? Oh well, start again. Yeah, get used to that as well. That's the sort of thing that happens in this game. Where do I go? Well, now I've got to start from the beginning. Do I have to hit this with a square? No? Right, okay. Well, I need to go up here, right? Sure. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Now what's happening? So, do I just wait here for it and then jump on it? That's very much like Sonic Adventure 1, I must admit. There's a bit in a level where there's a thing that's kind of similar to this in shape, and you have to wait for it to come and you can jump on it. I mean, I feel like I have to go over to that tower. But I can't get to the tower from here, and I can't change the camera, so I can't really see what's below me to see if there's any platforms and shit I can jump on. So, let's see what it does. Is it just going to do the same thing again? Yes, alright. So, coming up here was not what I needed to do, so... Boost? No? Okay, so it looks like going up there was just completely pointless, because it looks like this is where I have to go. It's very clear where you have to go. And I bet the guys who made this game, like, thought that these boss fights on paper were going to be fucking awesome. The first boss fight was very much not awesome. On paper, it sounds awesome. Supersonic fights a giant robot that ends up having lasers come out of its back. But they somehow managed to make it boring. Alright. So... Oh, I can turn the camera. Come here now. He's gonna eat me! What's happening? Oh, the camera went ham. I was like, why can't I see where Sonic is? So I jump onto its back, right? Oh, I can lock onto it. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to jump on its back, but okay. Rah, why did I let you climb on me? Alright, so that's a path I have to run along, okay. Oh, wait a minute, if I'm gonna be supersonic, what do I need to... I guess I have to run along the path and do something in order to become supersonic, I guess. Uh-huh. Random double-ended lightsabers, okay. And then run along here. And dodge the things by going left and right with L1 and R1. Uh-huh. Just like a mini-boss in the first island, so it's basically recycling enemies now. Oh shit, I almost didn't press that in time. Wee. Mate, the fact the camera isn't really following the path very smoothly makes it difficult to see those electric bolts that are coming my way. Also, the fact that this path is being built at like 2 frames a second doesn't make it look great. I ran out of boost. I got boost again. That's one good thing. You don't have to wait all day for your boost to come back. Are you having fun yet, bro? Like, this... it's not what I'd call thrilling. Look at it going through the floor there. PS5. This game's also on the Switch. That would probably explain a lot. Cool, I ran upside down. That was actually kind of cool for a second. Alright, now I'm on the back. Now what? I hit this? Oh, that's the Chaos Emerald. Alright. Yes, here comes the climactic finish. There we go, I'm supersonic, the end. Like, where's the fanfare, bro? Supersonic doesn't take damage, but rings will be lost as the battle goes on. Boost through the air quickly to reach Wyvern and parry its attacks to a... Oh yeah, parrying in this game. You hold L1 and R1. That's it. You don't have to press L1 and R1 at a certain time. You don't have to hold L1 and R1 and then release it at a certain time. You just have to hold them, and if you're holding them, you'll parry the attack. Because it's brain dead, because why wouldn't it be? Why can't I boost? What's happening? Oh, now I can boost. That was a cutscene? Alright. I don't know how to go up or down. Okay, I'm just gonna go this way then. I guess I just gotta avoid your missiles. I feel like Supersonic should be able to catch up to this thing easier than this. Right, now what? Parry? Ah, I see. I got a parry. Hello. Do that again. Right, I'm holding L1 and R1 now. He's not doing it again. Alright, let me chase him. Fun. Damn. It's like the Supersonic boss fight in Sonic Adventure was one of the coolest moments in any game I'd ever played at the time. And then in Sonic Adventure 2, they topped it. I mean, even the fucking Doomsday Zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it was awesome. But in Sonic Generations, the final boss was a really bad Supersonic section. And in Sonic Mania, I did not like the final boss in Sonic Mania. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, I forgot to press L1 and R1. I was too busy talking about shit. Alright, well, let me chase you again. Good job I've got 200 rings. Alright, I see. Yeah, I see now. I'm on rails on this bit. That's why I couldn't figure out how to move up or down earlier. I thought there'd be a dedicated up or down button like in previous games, but no, I'm just on rails and I just have to move around like this. Because everyone loves on rails when you're Supersonic. Especially when the camera does weird shit like that. Alright, I'm holding L1 and R1. Get fucked. So now I go ham with square. See, this bit's cool. When Sonic's actually going fucking ham attacking shit, it's cool. Okay, let's do that 3 more times then. Don't mind me, I'm just passing through you. Man, I'm gonna run out of rings at this point. Shit, man. I don't know what you're doing, bro. Right. Yeah, I have to do a double parry, that's what it is. That's slightly less brain dead than the fight was at the beginning, I must admit. Get fucked. What's happening? Oh, I fucked it up. Let me try it again. Look! I fucked up the QTE and it just said, no you didn't, and let me do it again. Oh, mate. That's how brain dead this game is. You can straight up fail a QTE and the game goes, no you didn't. Cool. Oh, it's not dead yet. Okay. Alright, Snake, it's not over yet. I hate the way all the cutscenes are 30 frames per second. Why, bro? I don't know what's happening, but I'm pressing square! What happened? Did he punch it or just throw it and it sounded like a punch? Okay. Whee! This is kind of cool, the way he's like leading the rockets back to fucking hit the robot. That is kind of cool, I will admit. It is very reminiscent of the end of the second Sonic film. See, this game has moments of coolness peppered in. Just very small, very few and far between moments of coolness. Just buried... Just buried underneath a tedious gameplay loop. That was one of Chaos's people. And Sonic had a flashback of that thing. After he defeated the first Titan of the first island, he got a flashback. So I think... I don't know. Maybe there was a threat to them and they thought... Oh, I don't fucking know, mate. It's just a mystery. Hey, Knuckles, are you out of cyberspace now?
Not bad. Things would have been over faster if I'd been Super Knuckles. You did all right.
Maybe. He's not wrong, because he probably would have just fucking punched harder and killed it in 1 hit instead of 4 bouts of 30 hits. Look how big Knuckles' hands are. Too fucking big.
I've got 1 more Titan bot to go. Hopefully I'll find Tails too. I'm worried about him.
He'll be all right. Now hurry up and save the day already.
How do you know there's one more Titan bot? Did they say at some point there's only 3? Because I'm pretty sure there's 5 islands. I keep hearing there's 5 islands. And in fact, I've looked at the trophy list, and I know there's at least 4. It's very strange. Anyway, that's Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, 5 islands, look. Anyway, we didn't just see this. So yeah, that's Sonic Frontiers. Little bits of occasional coolness dropped into a game that is overwhelmingly just a tedious chore on the whole. So yeah, it's not as crappy as Sonic Frontiers. I keep getting the names mixed up. It's not as crappy as Sonic Forces, but Sonic Forces was more fun. or should I say Sonic Forces was less boring. Anyway, peace.